this is the Arizona White Mountains update.
Good morning, everybody. I am looking over this list this morning, and you can tell that we are going into the busy season of the White Mountains. We have traffic like crazy. It took forever to get out of my house this morning. I live right on the main road, so that can be a little bit of a mess, but super busy and fun this weekend even. I discovered, I'm going to share with you guys this place that I didn't even know was up here that we went to this weekend. I had a family member visiting in town who had no idea what he wanted to do, and we just kind of drove aimlessly for a bit. But we were heading out towards Snowflake, and we took the road that you take to Snowflake. And I was looking for something that wasn't even on that road, so I had it all wrong. But we discovered the Pinedale Lake Conservation Area. If you have not been to that, it is so beautiful. A super easy little hiking trail or walking path, I guess it really is. It's paved, so kids, really kid-friendly and easy, handicap accessible. It's got these beautiful viewing areas to overlook this area that opens up to a wildlands conservation area. So there's water and there's beautiful things growing and duck sounds. And I mean, it was just spectacularly cool. It's free. You can take your family and kids there. But if you haven't been out there, it's just barely past Maverick. So after you pass the Maverick on that road heading out to Snowflake from Show Low, keep your eyes peeled for a little bitty park sign and make that right-hand turn, and it is absolutely worth it. Take a picnic. It is a gorgeous place.
Yeah.
I was super excited to find that this weekend. But yeah, we're getting real busy up here, Caitlyn.
It is. It's definitely coming up summertime, and a lot of these events that we're going to be talking about today are, you can tell summer's coming.
Yeah. Saturday, we were coming in from Eager area, and so we got to witness the traffic coming back and forth from the ski resort. So yay, we finally got snow, and I know the skiers had a blast. All the feedback that I've gotten has been that the conditions were spectacular. They were super excited. And I know that Sunrise has also extended their season out a little bit, so they're open through, I think, the 22nd or 23rd, whatever the end of the weekend is, and then they're going to reopen just for the weekend, the following weekend. So we're extending that season out a little bit, so take advantage of that and come on up and see us at the White Mountains. First thing that we've got on our list is March 19th through the 21st is the Dutch Tulip Show in Show Low. So super pretty flowers. Caitlyn, we talked about this the last time too, how much we just really love the tulips and everything. So I don't know if I'm going to make it to that one, but I would really like to go to that one.
I mean, that's just like the promise of spring right there. All the colors of tulip, like that's just telling you it's coming.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that we really had a winter, but yeah, spring's coming.
Yeah, that is so true.
And then on March the 20th is the Bloom into Self-Care Yoga and Essential Oil class at Pure Relaxation Day Spa at 6 p.m. That's, again, just more signs that spring is coming. Bloom into Self-Care, that's very spring marketed, but that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we talked about this before too. I have never yogaed. Ever. I should yoga. I hear that that's a really good thing when you're starting to get old like me, but I have never. And I think of when I imagine myself in some of the yoga positions, all I can do is laugh. I just don't see it happening, but I'm very uncoordinated. So
I think that you should do it because I would get a laugh out of it.
Your brother really loves to do it, and he even has thought about teaching the classes and doing the thing, but yeah, I just don't see it happening. Yeah, I'm not much for exercise. The 21st, we have the Rastelli Circus at Taylor Rodeo Park at 6 p.m. And that's a couple of nights. They're actually doing it on the 21st and the 28th. But something I saw when I was out and about town this weekend, I was in Pine Top Olive Oil and in Pine Top Coffee Roasters, and there are actually tickets that you can pick up, and I'm sure they're in other businesses around town, for free entrance for the kiddos. So if you want to take your kids, you can get some free tickets to the circus at Taylor Rodeo Park. And that's happening on the 21st and the 28th. Yeah. Well, that's the only way I could afford to take you when you were a kid, is if there was the free kids tickets. So I pay attention. I guess my eyes are trained.
For 26
my
years.
eyes are trained and keen to see that stuff. And I think it's you only need one ticket if I remember, but it was up to several kids for just the one little ticket. So stop by, pick that up, go have a fun time with the kiddos.
And on March the 21st, we'll be over at Kittles Fine Art Supply at 6 p.m. for a paint and sip event, the Twisted Tree. They do one of these almost weekly, it seems like, and so there's always an opportunity to get out there and go do that. And all of the feedback that we've heard has been that it's been a lot of fun and really beautiful. And so,
yeah, Caitlyn and I had dinner last night with a couple of friends at the chalet, and they're members of White Mountain Country Club, and she mentioned that Kittles does art stuff for the kids at their like children's community center area in there, and she said it was really like a neat thing that they do. So they're all over the place and doing the thing with art. So give that a shot. Oh, the Chris Kane Trio is back at the Lion's Den on the 21st at 7 p.m. Chris Kane Trio always brings in a big old crowd.
I feel like we haven't talked about them in a few weeks.
I know.
So.
Well, maybe there was a calm before the storm, but here it is. I don't really go to the den, but especially in the winter time. But I don't really go anywhere because I have like practically no life. But that isn't work related or volunteerism. However, the den has one of the prettiest outdoor seating areas of any of the places, I think. And so if I'm going to go, it's as we're going into the spring and summer season. Yeah. And I don't think I've even taken you back there yet.
I have not been there yet.
No, and you're young. You should go there and like take the young people and go hang out. Although that's not necessarily just a young person's crowd by any stretch.
7 p.m. when Chris Kane goes on. That's my bedtime. So that doesn't really work out very well.
Caitlyn is the oldest 26-year-old that you've ever seen. She's not kidding when she says that she usually by 9 o'clock she's like, can I just go to bed now? Like she is
falling asleep on the couch.
In her defense, she does get up very early. She commutes a very long way to work every day, but yeah, she is definitely an early to bed person.
And then again, spring coming up, the country clubs are opening up here in the next couple of weeks. On March the 22nd, the Pine Top Country Club job fair is at 10 a.m. And so if you know somebody that's looking for a job, if you have kiddos that are looking for a job, I don't know what the kiddos can do out there necessarily.
Well, actually, they do hire a lot of high schoolers to help in both the restaurant and in the country club. And then just a little inside thing, too, for the kids that do work at both country clubs, both of the bigger country clubs in Pine Top Lakeside, but Pine Top Country Club and White Mountain Country Club, I know, offers scholarships to the kids who work there during the summer seasons. And so it's not only can they potentially have a great summer job, I don't know what they pay, but I hear it's not too bad. But that could also open some doors for them if they're interested in pursuing higher education. That can be a way for them to apply for some additional scholarships. So,
and you'll be seeing us out there come this late spring, early summer, shanking balls into trees.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
If you want a good laugh, just step out onto your porch and.
That's true, and please let me come into your yard and retrieve my balls because they get expensive after you lose quite a few of them in a day. So and pay no attention to the fact that if I've had a beer or two in the cart and I'm laughing a little too loud. Let's see, we got a dinner murder mystery, murder at the Duke's Feast at Show Low Elks Lodge. Again, this is a fundraiser, and they put all of this money into local nonprofits. I've seen them buy four-wheelers for the fire department in Vernon, helping with the senior center. So this is all money that stays right here local. And I haven't actually attended one of these yet. I do sponsor them, and I've donated some things to them, but I haven't had the time to go to one yet. But the feedback I get on this is that these are super fun. And it's so funny because Caitlyn was just saying this weekend, because I'm buying a house, and we were talking about like getting to where we do maybe a housewarming and have people over once we get settled in. And Caitlyn has decided, and not knowing about this, but that we have to do a murder dinner?
A murder mystery dinner.
Mystery dinner.
Well, one of my favorite stupid movies on Netflix is Murder Mystery with Jennifer Aniston and goofy basketball shorts guy. What is his name? But I think that they sound like so much fun. And I mean, growing up, Clue was one of my favorite board games. And so I just think
Is it Adam Sandler?
It's Adam Sandler. Thank you.
That was going to make me crazy until I could remember it. Yeah.
And I just think that they sound like so much fun. And so I definitely want to get out to go do that.
Maybe not have an actual murder at our murder dinner like they did in your show, though. That would be good.
Well,
We have some friends that in our old town that would come to our parties and dinners and things like that pretty often. And there was one that could get a little obnoxious, and I used to warn him that if he didn't, he would end up being the murder mystery dinner if he didn't settle down a little bit. Let's see. It's you. What do we got? Impressionism.
That's totally me. I tick them off, so I know which one is for me, and I can't keep track.
You're not even doing your own cheat sheet.
So March the 22nd is Sunlight Impressionism paint event at Arizona Mountain Coffee. We're just, 2 seconds from Arizona Mountain Coffee over here. So again, always lots of art to do on the mountain come spring, summer, just keeping you busy.
Well, so technically Arizona Mountain has 2 locations. There is one in Show Low and there's one in Pine Top. And so we'll have to post on the bottom thingy to say specifically where these locations are, because they actually do have 2.
How did I miss that? I don't go to Show.
And honestly, I've never thought about it until just right now as to which location they do it at. But and maybe they alternate. But
I'm always driving east, not west, and so I don't ever see the west one.
Yeah. So we'll have to make sure that we have that information down at the bottom for you guys to click and find. And then I also can know that the Show Low Chamber of Commerce and the Pine Top Lake Chamber of Commerce tries to post their stuff on all of these activities on their website. Show Low in particular does a spectacular job of getting all the flyers out there, and I've definitely seen Arizona Mountain Coffee's everything that the artisan place does.
Art Alliance.
Art Alliance, yeah, there. Thank you. Art Alliance does. That's a good source for checking out all of these events as well. Back to Chris Kane Trio is back again the next night. They're on the 22nd at 7 o'clock again at the Lion's Den, past Caitlyn's bedtime.
Yeah.
Early enough for us old folks to try to enjoy, though.
Rowdy weekend over at the Den.
That's right, yeah.
And then on the March the 25th is the Conservation Project by Accord Hospice at Mellon Community Center in Concho. There'll be more details about that and a link in the comments or something like that. I don't have enough information for you, and so, but
that's at 11 a.m. on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's at 11 a.m.
25th.
But more details in the comments.
And then again with the dance studio here in Pine Top, across the street from my office, March 26th, line dancing class. Oh, no, this one's at the Art Alliance.
Yeah,
so line dancing class at the Art Alliance. Again, we were talking about this last night, too, at dinner, how many different things the Art Alliance does. Of course, I come up here and I think it's that's where I'm going to buy art and get things framed and do the thing there, but it's absolutely not just that. It is all versions of art. And so whatever thing that you're into, they probably have something going on there. And Caitlyn is 100% into all of the country dancing types of things. I cannot stand line dancing because I am the most uncoordinated person. However, Caitlyn,
it's just not that hard. It's just not that hard.
We have been in some country bars, and I look out there and I see everybody having such a great time doing it. I'm having a couple of beers. That does not help your coordination, guys. Let me just tell you, it does not help you learn how to do a line dance. But it's really fun, and there are every kind of genre does line dancing, it feels like now. It's not a country alone thing.
Cupid Shuffle,
I think of that as country. Is that not?
The Cupid Shuffle?
It's not?
Oh. We're going to talk about that later. I'm going to play that for you again.
Caitlyn thinks that I'm so old because I don't know things, but you have to tell, she busted me so hardcore this weekend. I think of myself as an intelligent person, but Caitlyn this weekend.
She's so smart. She is so smart. And she says to me, we're talking about trips that we want to take here in the coming years and, our dream destinations, and Japan is one of mine. And she goes, well, where's Japan? I was like, well, it's in Asia. I know
Japan is in Asia, but I
was
did not.
Mom, it's literally southeast. From Alaska where we lived, I was like, by Russia. And she goes, by Russia? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, that's in Europe. And I was like, well, yes, but also Asia. I had to pull up a map, and we're zooming in on
no
places.
idea that Russia was above Asian places. I hate geography, always had.
It's terrible.
And I excelled in school. I was top of my class, but geography was not interesting to me, so I did not remember this. But this girl was absolutely floored and made so much fun of me all weekend because I apparently need to go back and take some geography classes.
She's so smart. It just was baffling me. But dancing at the Art Alliance on the 28th at 5 p.m. and then also on the 28th, rolling right into another paint and sip. That's not mine.
This one's for me, y'all. I'm going to be on this one. Yeah. Also not an artist, but I do think paint and sips are fun. And I think that
I skipped a ton of stuff.
Did you? Oh, you did. Yeah, you did. Let's go. We could go back, but
that's what we get for going on a tangent.
That's what we get for going on a tangent. Yeah. So
March the 27th is establishing a digital presence and marketing at St. John's City Hall at 12 p.m. And I think that if this episode has taught you anything, it's maybe don't take much advice from me on establishing a digital presence because I can't keep my tick marks and my
Birdman. Do you know who's presenting that? No. Interesting. That's because a Birdman does a lot of like digital presence and stuff. So I just
keep begging Birdman for a teleprompter. I still don't have a teleprompter.
I don't know if I could do it. So yeah, that's at St. John's Hall at 12 o'clock. And so for all of us business owners, as you know, digital presence and marketing is like the way of the world anymore. As much as I try to fight it, I'm not the biggest fan of social media just because it bores me and I it's just not my shtick. But it is critically important, and I think of my business as being fairly successful, and it would not be if without like being out there in the digital marketing world. So
you're welcome.
Yeah, go get those tips because I know I need them. And then again, we already talked about Rastelli Circus on the 28th, so 21st and 28th, free tickets at local businesses around town.
Yeah. Rolling back into the Art Alliance, Cork and Canvas at Art Alliance, March the 28th at 5 p.m. And then now you can roll into your pride and joy on this one.
Well, I was saying like the paint and sips, which Cork and Canvas is one of those, paint and whatever, all by same thing by different names. They're really like, you don't have to be like a full-blown artist to do these things. The instructors give you like really good paint this way here, and they come around and like give you the brush stroke advice and the whole thing. And I've actually painted some things that got hung on my dad's wall. Now, I don't take that for whatever it's worth. I understand your parents will hang anything even when you are old and they're way old. But it's like they've turned out okay, and it's really fun. Caitlyn, however, has had meltdowns and temper tantrums and stayed an hour past class because hers was not just right. So if you're really, really obsessive compulsive, maybe...
Well, I have them in my truck because we recently got them all back, and they are sitting in my truck. I will bring them into the next episode, and I will show you what that hour extra got me versus her.
But for me, the part is the cork word in the Art Alliance, and then the paint and sip one that's happening at Kittles Art at 6 p.m. on the 28th is moms and margaritas. Now that sounds like an absolute blast, and if I didn't have kids, I would pretend to have kids to go participate in that one because who doesn't deserve a night out more than the moms, right? Like the job is the hardest job on the planet. I was not a stay-at-home mom, y'all. I could not have been. I was just not made for it. I have two wonderful kids who I absolutely adore, and as adults are now, my best friends. Caitlyn, she's my best friend until about 3 minutes ago, and then I changed my mind. Now it's the other kid. So, but yeah, like it's a really, really hard job. My utmost respect to the stay-at-home moms and to any parent who can stay at home with their kiddos. But we all need a break, whether we're working moms or we're stay-at-home moms. So go have some margaritas and paint some art. I'd love to see the end result of those pictures after some margaritas.
And then kind of the more somber, sobering part of spring and summer coming up is the wildfires that we just have to be prepared for. On March the 29th is the Wildfire Preparedness Expo at Blue Ridge High School at 11 a.m. We talked about this last time. We really, really recommend that you get over there and listen in on some of this because we're dry winter, dry summer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, y'all, just not just as your insurance agent or insurance in town.
Stage 1.
Yeah.
Thank you, Birdman.
I was going to say it, but it is, yeah. So, not just as, your insurance agent, but also as a community member in this town. I cannot emphasize this enough. It is a terrifying, and I want to exaggerate that word as much as I can, because it is a terrifying picture that we are potentially going into if we don't do the right things. But if we do the right things, we go to the expo, we learn about it, what we can do, we go onto our town websites. We are currently in a stage 1. I know that the reservation is actually further than that. They are pretty much discussing that they're going to be closed down in their forestry for the summer. We are in the talks of that to keep us safe, in the summer, and keep our homes safe. I'll tell you, I'm in the process of buying a home, and I have to pull out many beautiful bushes, rose bushes, decorative bushes, a gorgeous tree. I'm going to, of course, try to relocate any of them that I can, but to make sure that I'm getting at least my 5 feet of hard clearance and 30 feet of tree clearance, and everything that I can do to make sure that my home is safe and that my neighbor's home is safe. So let's do the right things, go educate yourself, and then make smart decisions when you're out and about. When you're doing your fun stuff in the summer, we don't want you to not do that stuff, but we just want you to do it smart and make good decisions. So,
and we're here to talk about all the fun stuff in the world, but all the fun stuff in the world doesn't exist if we're not keeping our community safe.
Yeah, for sure. So we're off our soapbox on that one, but please. Please do the things. And if you need some help with that, I know the fire department will help you with some advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will help you with some advice. I'm happy to come out to homes and give you some suggestions on what you can do to be prepared. 29th, the White Mountain Symphony Orchestra will be playing at the Sholo School Auditorium at 3 p.m. I have to tell you guys, I'm going to brag a little bit. I have an employee that works for me that plays for the White Mountain Symphony Orchestra. She plays many instruments, but she plays first and second chair violin. She's spectacularly talented, and I know everybody with the orchestra is. So, and the tickets to see these things, I don't have that information, we'll get it for you, but is always very, it's nothing. But what a talented group of people that we have up here in our little bitty community to have such a spectacular musical group. If we're not going and seeing that, we're really, really missing out. So visit the concert there.
And then lots upcoming with tons more details in our upcoming episodes. On April the 4th is Steel Magnolias at NPC. That's the North. Sorry, what was that, Birdman? One more time. Northland Pioneer College. Thank you. I mean, we passed 4 of the campuses all this weekend, and I need to write these things down.
Sometimes she's the blonde in the family. Yeah.
Northland Pioneer College campus in Snowflake, Taylor. That is coming up. We'll have more details to come.
Hey, that campus was really pretty, though.
It was
for such a little bitty campus in such a little bitty town.
It was a big
it was
campus
really, really, really pretty.
The size of that area.
The 9th, at the same campus, we've got the Eagle Fest 2025. And I feel like, when's Easter, Rob?
Late April.
Okay, because I'm we're missing that we've got an Easter egg hunt thing here.
It's late April. We'll have more information coming up.
I know that I'm excited about that one, and Caitlyn is being forced to volunteer, so we'll get you the information on that, but that'll be good. And then you've got the...
And then on April the 12th is the annual Pat Tillman excuse me.
She practiced this one and got educated on this one long before we started. And so I knew because of that she was not going to be able to spit that one out.
The annual Pat Tillman Fun Run, which is 4.2 laps. That was his number in the NFL at Woodland Lake Park. That's going to be so much fun and just honoring a really wonderful community member of Arizona at large. And
who made the ultimate sacrifice for us.
Absolutely.
So, and that happens every year, and so that's it's a really cool deal. In fact, this is such a big deal that when we're planning our other fundraisers around town and different things with it, whether it's with the town of Pinetop Lakeside or the Blue Ridge Scholarship Fund does a couple of things around this same time frame, we very strategically, intentionally avoid ever scheduling anything on that day because we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, honoring this event, and Pat, and that everybody can participate. Yeah. So show up for that, super fun. There's a pub crawl afterwards, so if you're into that, we can do that thing as well. I don't know. It starts at Munich House, but I don't know the route, but we can get that for you. But look it up.
Yeah.
The 25th, a night to remember senior prom at Turn of the Card Community Center. So that'll be Show Low High School senior prom.
Yeah. So kids be safe.
Kids be safe.
Students
make good choices.
Be safe. Make good choices. Have fun. Like, it's been almost 10 years since I went to prom, and I had so much fun, and I loved it. And so I hope that you all have that much fun too.
It's been a few more years since I went to prom.
I don't know what I was expecting to come out of your mouth, but that wasn't it.
It was fun though. But I'm not going to tell the stories of my prom on the podcast. My prom is not podcast tellable.
On April the 25th through the 26th, it's upcoming. I promise it's going to happen eventually, is the Biz Expo at the Show Low City Campus Gym. I feel like we say it's upcoming every week, but it is coming up.
It is, but the more we can spread out this to the small businesses, the better. So we just want to making sure that we're throwing it out there, because if they miss the last one, we want them to catch this one. Mm-hmm. Okay, May 2nd, the barbecue throwdown at Frontier Field. Ugh, there's my tongue twister. Everything, we always say this, all things food related, Caitlyn and I are in for, but barbecue, this is a Texas girl, okay? Yeah. She was born in Texas. She is the pickiest barbecue eater ever.
I really am, but that's because my standards are up here, and so.
But we've had some good stuff up here, and so I want to go to this. This will be a lot of fun. It'll be likely to be a very beautiful day. Some other things happening on that weekend that's not on here, but we've got the Blue Ridge Scholarship Fund's big golf tournament. That's our biggest fundraiser for Blue Ridge High School's scholarships. We'll get more information on that, but the website is open at Blue Ridge for registration if you want to golf at that, and it is a limited number of golfers, so that's why I'm going to kind of throw that one out there really quickly.
And if you were there last year at all, I was yelling at you to buy your raffle and your 50/50 tickets, and I was cracking jokes, and I was told that I was so much fun that I had no choice but to do that job again this year. So I'll be there, and it's
fun. And
a lot of fun.
And Sammy told me that last night, Sammy is a volunteer with the Blue Ridge Scholarship Fund, as well as the Pinetop Lakeside Chamber of Commerce. It's her birthday that weekend, and she literally sent out to her friends that's what she wanted to do for her birthday, was to volunteer at the golf tournament. And they're going to be like you. They're going to be like a lot of energy, high fun. They're going to be taking all your money. But for really great cause. 100% all that money goes to scholarships for our local kids. So Rob just handed me the Easter stuff. So the family Easter celebration happening at Woodlake Park is on April 19th. Yeah, see, that was in our timeline there. From 11 to 3. This is free to the kiddos in the community. Local businesses sponsor this. We put baskets out where the kids go and collect their baskets. They go through a maze to get to the eggs. So not just your typical, eggs spread across an open field kind of deal. Plenty of eggs for everybody. Super fun. And then the Rotary Club will be setting up and doing hot dogs and hamburgers as a fundraiser, also for the Blue Ridge Scholarship Fund at that event. And so great fun. Last year, we had some icky weather, and so we had to bring it inside Town Hall, and so maybe not quite as exciting for the kids, but they still had a blast. So bring your kiddos out. That's on April 19th from 11 to 3. Thank you, Birdman, for giving me the information on that. But that's going to be super fun. And you'll see Caitlyn and I there. We're volunteering and helping
cooking
out.
Dogs and burgers,
and whatever the kids need. So,
We'll cook the dogs, I'll cook the burgers.
So great weather today, guys. It's super sunny. It's cold. Very cold this morning, so we hope everybody's staying warm out there. So it's deceptive, but it's coming. We're about to go into a beautiful summer, I think. I think it's going to be a great spring and summer. We look forward to seeing you guys in 2 more weeks. Remember to like, follow. What are all the things now? Like, follow.
Like, follow, subscribe,
comment,
share with your friends and your family that are also on the White Mountain and those that aren't. If you have friends and family that are considering coming up for the summer or at all, share these with them so that they know what they're missing out on if they don't come.
Yeah, the more that we spread it out there, the more that we can get visitors up here. As we all know, we need that. We need the people to come up here this summer. It helps our economy. It helps everything. So, like, share, follow, all of the things that I don't know what they are, and we look forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
And
I'm Carin.
And I'm Caitlyn, and this is the Arizona White Mountains Update.
Take it easy, everybody.